Dear Simone, I am having a time. Not a bad time, not a good time, just a time. I'm in my apartment because that is where I am supposed to be. I am only going out if absolutely necessary because that is what I am supposed to be doing. I feel busy, I feel desperate, I feel nothing. This is the way things are now, and I guess it's fine? Time is passing. I'm not sick. I don't know anyone who's sick directly, but I know people who are sick. That is still not enough distance between me and the sickness for me to feel comfortable with it, but I'm aware that it could be so much worse. I'm very lucky, yada yada, blah blah blah. I've been lucky in the work department so far too. The nonprofit has decided not to terminate my contract. Remember how I told you about that information campaign they're having me do graphics for? Well, I am now doing most of it at home. I have Zoom meetings, I work at my desk in my home office, I drink endless cups of tea. I close the door and open the window, so fresh air comes in and I pretend that I'm in an office building far away from my kitchen and my bedroom and my bathroom. Question: how much self-delusion is appropriate in this situation? Answer: enough to make life bearable. One significant challenge has been deciding what exactly the word necessary means. Necessary for what? Necessary to survive? I guess I just need to buy beans and water and salt pork and tea then. Necessary to feel like a human person? Add shampoo, vegetables, soap, deodorant, chapstick, mouthwash, snacks, dental floss. It's funny that I don't consider dental floss essential for survival, but I mean, our ancestors lived without it for thousands of years. There was also no dentistry, I guess, and people died pretty young from like tooth abscesses and other preventable things. I just heard someone on the balcony of the building next to me, talking about how a bunch of people are going to die and how the city's probably going under martial law before this is over, and the feds this and that. I'm sitting in my house right now. I'm on my bed. This is just floating into my ears in the theoretical privacy of my own bedroom. Any more of this, my neighbors are going to get to hear me crying along to Kate Bush at odd hours of the night. Oh wait, they probably already have. Gotta love the city, right? Enough about me. How are you? Did you stay on campus? Are you still working? How's your family? Tell your mom hi. If she doesn't remember me, just tell her I'm the girl from your museum internship. The artist with the 2 parakeets. She'll remember. Your friend, always, Frida. Dear Frida, I too am having a time. It's not hell, but it's no paradise either. I'm really glad to hear that you're still working. I'm not. They shut down campus completely and also all of the digs associated with it because apparently field archaeology is not an essential business, except for those of us that live off of the money we earn from doing it. Luckily, it looks like I'm still getting the fellowship funding I would be getting for this quarter anyway. The Iron Age settlement will still be there when we get back, I guess. It's waited this long. Because the campus shut down, I had to fly home to Mom's. I told her you said hi. She remembered you. I didn't even have to mention the parakeets. To be fair, we were completely inseparable for like 4 months. I would be surprised if she didn't remember you, and a little disappointed. The other day, I was sitting at the kitchen table moping, and Mom noted my mope and asked what was wrong. Are you afraid you're going to get sick? She asked. No, I said. I just really miss my job. I miss archaeology. She looked concerned, and then her face lit up, like she had a great idea. She said, do you want to go dig in the yard? I laughed, but she appeared to be serious, and I figured, what the hell? I'm not doing anything else. Might as well go and excavate the yard. I did, and I found a bottle and made a sketch of the area and everything. The sketch is enclosed for your edification. Question: is there such thing as a waste of time in our situation? Answer: time is our most abundant resource. Dig your holes. It would be like trying to waste dark matter in space. Aside from that, I've been trying to keep busy while I'm stuck at home. I have some schoolwork, but not enough to occupy me fully. Plus, it feels pointless and stupid, and I'm terrible at it. But I've started baking again. I ripped my house to pieces and put it back together. I felt better for a second, and then not better. Time stretches out like an endless, hungry python, and I try to keep it fed by throwing tasks into its gaping mouth. It doesn't not work. I miss you. Actually, there kind of was dentistry before modern medicine, but it was performed by these guys called barber surgeons, who were exactly what they sound like.
It makes sense in a way that they lumped all body modifications into one job, whether it was shaving a beard or pulling a tooth or removing a gallbladder. I'm glad this disease is happening now. We may be struggling hard with it, but we have more of an advantage nowadays than we have ever had before. How are your parakeets? Do you still have that roommate? How's that been working out in these times? Are you still painting? Don't keep me in suspense. Your friend, always, Simone.
Dearest Simone, I'm glad your mom is still hilarious. I love the drawing of the bottle. That made me smile. Yes, I do have a roommate. She was actually back home in Russia for a few months before this whole thing happened. She came home right as the borders were closing and was directed to quarantine in the apartment away from other people. Since I also live in the apartment, I was sort of anxious at the prospect of her being here, but she pragmatically shut herself in her room and I barely saw her for ages. Apart from the faint sound of her pacing the room and the occasional running of the shower, I felt like I was still alone. I figured that she was feeling lonely in there, so if I baked or cooked something, I would usually leave a plate outside of her door for her. I think she ate what I left because the plates were always empty when I came back in the morning. I know this probably isn't what was happening, but I like to imagine her crouched outside of her door in the middle of the night, tearing into her food with silent, ferocious hunger like a caged animal. I guess that's what we all are now, haha. We've never really been close. We barely interact for non-housekeeping reasons under normal circumstances. Lately, it's been a little bit different. The other day, I woke up to find a slice of banana bread on a plate with a note that said restitution and a little smiley face. No signature, but who else could it be? I wanted to write back, but I didn't know what to say, so I drew a little cartoon of a rotting banana saying, "Thank you for making me into something delicious." I'm waiting for her to reply. I hope she does. Question. Are you still friends if you never speak in person? Answer. Well, if not, then I have no friends right now, so yes? The answer had better be yes. Yes. I miss you too. I guess in some ways this isn't so bad. I've definitely gone almost nuts a few times, but I've succeeded in resisting my impulses so far. How about you, Simone? Has quarantine changed you? It's good to hear that you've started painting again. You're way better at that than you think you are. Your still sane friend, Frida. My best Frida. Do you ever think about the sea? I guess where you are, you can just look out at it if you get up high enough. My mom's property is about 10 miles from the coast, and we're out in the country, so mostly I see pastures and forests and not much else. It's not bad, but I miss the ocean. It's funny that out of all things, that's what I'm missing today. Not school or parties or cafes. The ocean. I guess there's nothing actually prohibiting me from driving down there and looking at it. I would feel weird doing it, though. It's not essential, and also I'm not comfortable going out at this point because the plague has supposedly reached our town, and I don't know if that means that one person has it or that every surface is crawling with hundreds of plague germs just waiting to jump into a host. Until we have more information, I guess we have to treat it like the latter is the case. That seems to be the smart thing to do. So, no ocean today. I'm pretty tired anyway. Yesterday evening I went on a really long walk. It's safe to walk at night here. It's deserted and there aren't usually animals, although someone did see a moose down the road a few summers ago. It was nice to get out and move my body around. About a mile from my house, I started smelling smoke. Not disaster smoke, like you would smell when something is burning that's not supposed to be, but just clean wood smoke. I rounded a bend, and there was a person out in the pasture in front of me, and next to that person was an enormous roaring fire. They were so small and far away, and I was happy to see them, even from that distance, because it's nice to see someone, and they waved, and I waved. And this is what we do now. Has quarantine changed me? That's a tough question. I started walking around on my toes again. That's a habit that's been dormant for years. I didn't even notice I was doing it. My mom pointed it out. I remember when I was young, she noticed that then too. Like a ballerina, she said. Like a velociraptor, I said. Like someone trying not to cause a disturbance in this disturbed and chaotic world. Question. Did the dinosaurs know when their world was ending? Answer. I hope not. I hope that instead they inhabited their world normally, took walks and looked at the ocean, and maybe looked up and thought, wow, what a big bright star. That's new. I think tomorrow I will drive to the ocean. I will not stop for gas. I have enough. I will not go to the store. I can bring food from home.
I will sit on the beach if there's nobody there, and in my car if it's crowded, and eat my sandwich and look at the ocean. That's what I'll do. Sending you imaginary hugs. Your friend, Simone.